Alright, thank you guys for coming. You're invited here today to be part of our special 20th anniversary video project. This project will focus on the lives of some of the members of our church and what it meant for them to build the church through the seasons of life. We thought it would be meaningful to get the first 3 children of the church to help tell these stories. So would you like to take on this project?
Yeah.
Okay?
Sounds good.
Several days later.
We've been given a task to investigate what the pioneers of the church had to go through in order to get the church to this point. And I thought the best place for me to start would be right at home. So, Mum, can you give us a brief introduction of who you are?
Oh, okay. My name is Juliana. I'm the senior pastor's wife, a mother of 4. My kids are this year 20, 18, 16, and 12. I'm the chief HRO for NTUC Income. Yep.
How was starting Brighton Community Church like for you?
Wow, it was tough because you were 4 months old, and at that point, your dad was supposed to go full time in Bartley, but it didn't work out, and then we decided that we want to build a church that we have the freedom to design and shape and to fulfill the mandate of God according to His purpose, the way we want it. So I think there were 60 of us. We decided to do it, and I was stuck with you, and you were 4 months old, the only kid when we started. Yeah, and it was a daunting task, frightening actually, and lonely maybe because I was only the only parent in church. It was hard. Yeah.
So do you feel that I was a burden to you at the time that you were starting the church?
No, actually it was very exciting being the mother for the first time, and it was just learning to do that. And the only difficult part was I felt alone trying to do that, trying to figure out how do you be a good mom who is still an effective church member. So that there was no reference, being the only mother in church and having to figure that out. I think it was a lot of adjustment, a lot of figuring out, a lot of struggles, because you were a difficult baby. I can't just put you with someone and then you can be babysat, you will cry. And I still remember I had to go for a council meeting, and then I left you with grandma, and then 4 hours later grandma called and said, "Are you coming home because your son has been crying for 3 hours?" And it's just it pains me that you will be in that situation, but I felt that I didn't want to stop doing it just because you were challenging. And then on the other hand, trying to fulfill my responsibility as a leader was hard, and feeling that I've not been doing enough. But I feel that I just keep going back to God going back to God for support in child raising, going back to God to find comfort and endorsement in what I do, that it is enough. It wasn't smooth sailing, but I think it was a lot about journeying with God and finding strength there.
So what is the biggest obstacle that you faced in building the church? And did you feel like giving up when you went through it?
I guess the hardest time was when Papa decided to go full time and he had to take a pay cut. And that was a huge adjustment for us. And for a while we couldn't break even, so it was really stressful trying to keep spending from savings and thinking how long can you last. And then that year work was very hard. It was HP compact merger, life was extremely difficult, and then I got pregnant with the 3rd kid. Papa wasn't around, and I was pregnant. We gave up the maid, so the 2 of you, I got to pick you up from work and then leave you all 2 to play and then try to sort you out and then go to sleep, and then I had to stay up to do work. And some days I will want to do 2, 3 o'clock, or I start work at 2, 3 o'clock and went to work the next morning, pregnant, and still worried about the finances. And I have to say that there were many times where I feel really stressed, very unhappy, and feeling that I need to carry the family finances. And in my nasty moments, I will tell your father that if you didn't go full time, I won't be in this situation. It's all on you. But that season was extremely, extremely hard. It was just, And I think I was just thankful that it didn't last that long. Yeah.
How were you able to overcome it?
God would deposit things that happen at work to tell me that He remembers what I need. And they are very affirming, right? I always tell a story about how I was in HP that year and it wasn't paying bonus for a couple of years. But that year, it paid bonus for the first time. Zishan has to be born. He was born in the month that I got my 13-month pay. Because HP pays 13 months in October. What kind of company paid 13 months in October? But HP did. And that was the month that Zishan was born. And I knew that it was time so that I have the extra money for the hospital bills. After that, we came to the salary increment. And HP also has salary increment in November, which is very weird. And when the third kid came, I told your papa, I said, I think we cannot do without a maid. I can do 2 kids and 1 in the stomach without a maid. I can't do 3 kids without a maid. And that year I had increment that just fitted my seated in. So when God deposit all these little things in my life, it just helped me remember that I am going through a journey. It is like what we always say, a character building exercise. But God was not far and He was always there, and He's always enough
I never knew that. When you all started building the church, that it was so difficult, because all my life you guys have always seemed so untouchable, that you all don't seem to have the problems that other people seem to have. But I think hearing about how you all face actually so many of the same struggles, whether it's in your careers, in raising us, I think it's really amazing how that to learn that you guys are not actually that extraordinary, but that really God uses ordinary people in extraordinary ways. Thanks for sharing, Mom.